Have you ever stared at a pallet long enough and it did this? Me either. So it's going to take a little bit more energy for that. Let's turn a pallet into a nice little whiskey bar shelf. Let's build something together. Okay, so I went ahead and cut some up. I got some skinnier and thinner ones. These are more like 1x6s. These are more like 1x4. So I took the 1x4s. Actually, this is only like 3 or ½ inch thick. So if you got 3/4, that's perfect. Ripped it, cleaned both edges to about 3 1/4, 18 inches long on the miter saw. We'll glue them together. I'm going to make a French cleat. So I'm going to make the French cleat about 21 inches. So what I'll do is just make a French cleat out of this. I'll just come in, I don't know, about 1 inch and then 45 it. Glue our French cleat. Put some 1-inch brads. Put some wood screws in it. Okay, I'm just going to use this offcut from the cleat as a spacer. Okay, so now I'm going to take some 1/4 inch strips, and this is going to be for the batten for the front walls. Okay, now I'm going to sand this. I'm not going to go crazy. I want it a little rustic. I'm just going to clean it up. Now let's put a bottom on. It's about 5 1/2. Okay, now the bottom. We'll glue in now. Okay, now we're going to do the sides. Get a measurement. 18 3/4. 2 of those at 18 3/4. Glue. Put some screws down on the bottom, just to give this bottom shelf some support. Seeing how I'm going to have some kind of trim going around this anyway. Okay, so we're going to do the top floor. So that's going to be at 24 inches. But we're going to bevel right at the end, 45, and then the front 45. That'll accept our roof slant. Set your bevel to 45. Okay, so that measure 24 inches. We're just going to go to the table saw, cut the long end 45. So apparently my phone ran out of storage, so I had to delete some stuff. So all I did on the table saw was just bevel the front. And now we just set it on top. And this is fine. If it does end up coming over here, you want it over instead of under. Glue and nail this down. Couple screws in that cleat. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm just going to be staining using some black walnut stain. And I'm not going to stain anything that's going to accept any more trim pieces. I'll leave that bare for gluing. Okay, let's do our battens now. And these are going to be 18 inches. I'm just going to sand these edges, and I'm going to paint or stain these red oak. I'll stain 3 sides. Should have 8 of them at 18 inches. Now we stain. Okay, the battens are drying. Let's turn our attention to the bottom. Overhang about 2 1/2 inches. So 2 1/2 inches all the way around. So if it's 2 1/2 out here, 2 1/2 out here, so that would be an extra 5 inches. So our front needs to be, so it's 24 plus 5 is 29 inches. 29 inches, point to point. The sides will be 8 inches point to flat. So 2 of those. Okay, I'm going to CA glue the back side and then glue it. And I'll brad nail it. And then we'll let this dry up, sand it out. I set this where I wanted it, so we'll just make sure we're roughly 2 1/2 or equally around the edges. Kind of just mark a line. Glue, brad nail from the bottom. We're going to stain this red oak. So basically we're going to have the floor, then the wall will be, the wall of the bar will be dark walnut, and then we'll have a top that will be red oak. And these all wrap around. So let's do this floor first. I'm going to stain this up, glue it, then we'll work on the wall. Okay, we'll do our wall. Going to do probably 3 1/4. Just clean the edges. sand it down. We'll do a wrap around. This one's probably not long enough to do a full wrap, so I might do a smaller piece. But get them both the same 3 1/4. If you're using a regular stock 1x4, then you should have good clean edges. I won't worry about it. Just leave it 3 1/2. So you could do is go ahead and glue and nail it. Tape this bottom and stain it. But I think I'm just going to take it apart. I'll just glue and nail it first, stain it. Okay, let's do the bar top. This is also going to be a wraparound. I'm not worried about the edge because I'm going to sand it, make it look like a live edge. We'll get the sides on, then we'll get a measurement, cut the top, and then we'll space out for our shot seats. Just line this up, mark it. Mark this. We'll sand the top and then we'll live edge the edges. Okay, now we'll glue and nail the sides. Then we'll do our front. Get a measurement for the front. Shy of 31. Corner's a little messed up. That's good because I'll just sand that, make it part of the live edge. Okay, now what we're going to do is we want to space this. So we're going to put 8 holes. So we're going to space it in between. So it should be 24. Yeah, so we'll space it. So we'll just go 24 divided by 9 to give 8 equal spaces, which is just shy of 2 and 11/16. Square this over. So we'll go in between these lines. So I'll just measure over each time 2 and just shy of 11/16, and I'll just get to the end. So I need to figure out how deep I need to go, and my holes are going to be 1 3/8. So it's 2 3/4. 2 3/4 divided by 2, which actually gives us 1 3/8. So let's pull up, measure 1 3/8 to each line. So I'm just going to do a quick starter hole. You can use a nail punch, but I cannot find mine right now. And then we'll go over to the drill press, drill 1 3/8 holes. Okay, we're going to sand this up, and then I'm going to just hand smooth these circles. Just give a little round over. If I was doing a multiple of these, I'd just get a trim router with a round over bit. Well, it's just this one, so. So if you want to fill some of these nail holes and cracks, just put some glue and take some out of your sander, some sawdust, kind of rub that in. Let that dry, and almost forgot our battens. So good time to put those in. All I'm going to do is cover those seams, and we'll use some pin nails. Put a little glue, not a lot, I don't want to squeeze out. And for the side ones, the corner ones, I'm going to put sideways. Okay, let's turn our attention to the roof. This is probably just one of the harder cuts, but it's pretty easy. Show you how to do that on the miter saw. So all I'm going to do is just get a measurement point to point. So roughly 31. And on the sides, I'm going to go 9. Your miter is 35.3. And your bevel is going to be 30. So I'll show you. Okay, so I got a couple scraps. One of these I use for my stain samples. These are going to be for the sides, and then this I'm going to use this for the front. So this is technically a 1x6. So we're going to set it to 35.3. This one's labeled actually 35.3 because actually that's a crown molding setting, a certain crown molding for 45 crown. But lock that down at 35.3, go to the left, and then tilt your bevel to 30 to the left. So that's at 30. And that's it. Okay, so you're going to set your good side down, the side you want showing on the bottom. In this scenario, the way you got your saw set up. Make our first cut. Okay, we're just going to take that point and measure over 31. Just make sure we're on this side of the line over here and just make that cut. Easy peasy. So take your second piece, your side piece, the side you want showing, put it down. And that's going to be for the left side. And then for the right side, you want to do the opposite. You're going to start on this side, and the side you want showing, you face up. Okay, that's the right side. Now we just come to these points, and we'll measure 9-inch, and we'll do that a straight cut. So if you're unsure of these angles, just get some scrap, pallet, or whatever, and then you can practice those. It's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. Okay, I'm just gonna sand this up real quick. So just for the roof part, I'm gonna fill these holes in. Don't want to get any water on anybody if it rains. I mean, you don't want anybody getting wet, right? Okay, so I'm gonna glue and brad nail it. I think I'll CA glue the top just to hold it. Okay, so you just test fit it. We'll leave like a little strip here so we can glue it and nail it. Once I'm going to stain this, we'll let it dry, and then we'll put some hooks, or at least some holes for some hooks on the bottom for our mugs. Okay, let's throw some hooks in. Dollar store didn't have any black hooks, so I painted them. So I'm going to do 4. I think I'm going to center in this board, which is 5.5. So we'll come down 2 1/4, and then we'll divide. It's 29 inches wide, so we'll divide that by 5 to get 4 equal spaces, which is about 5 and just shy of 13/16. So come over 5 and 13, just shy of 13/16 on each one, and we'll drill a hole. We got this laying down. Let's put the roof on. So we just put a little bit of glue here. Don't want to squeeze out. Then we just set it on it. So we're going to put some clear on this. After I put the clear, I'm going to put this little LED light, under cabinet light. Got this from the box store. I didn't have time to order it off Amazon, but you can find these. It's a USB charge, Velcro, so you can stick this on and then take it off to charge it. It's got a little remote. I'm going to stick this underneath. So we're going to be using lacquer, which brings me to my who gives a shot tip of the day. So lacquer is a durable finish, good for shelves, and it's good water resistant and like alcohol resistant versus like a shellac. Shellac's may be good for decorative pieces and like candle holders or something. Good lacquer would be good for this shelf. Put your PPE on. There you go. Look at that. That is sweet. Now there's a pallet transformation. Take a look at it when the lights are off. That's sick. That's pretty badass. So we can even turn this just white. That's cool as hell. Pretty cool what a pallet can turn into. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. We'll build something together. Alright, bye guys.